What's up, guys? Welcome back. Thanks for sitting down with me again. I'm back on my home office couch. You could be anywhere in the world right now, but you're tuned in to me. And for that, I'm really humbled and grateful for all of you. This is episode 6, the finale of the Harp Homes Couch Conversations Buyer Series. I'm Matt Burns, the owner and founder of Harp Homes. By now, you probably know my slogan, real estate success without the BS. Please like and subscribe if you like what the content I'm putting out. I'm excited to sit down with you guys. You know, if you've gotten this far, this is where everything is going to come together. You know, so much goes into everything leading up to being in contract. Don't get me wrong, it's not time to go on autopilot, but now, thankfully for you, this is where you can call on your team to do a lot of the heavy lifting. We left off with you guys getting into contract, so that's where we're going to pick up. And let's jump right into it. Okay, so the two most important things that happen after getting a fully executed contract is your mortgage approval and the title search for the home that you're looking to purchase, okay? Both of these things will be running simultaneously, but I think we should start with the mortgage approval. So as soon as your attorney gets the fully executed contracts back from the seller's attorney, that contract will need to be sent to your lender so that they can officially start your mortgage process. The lender is going to coordinate with you if they need any additional documents, maybe some signatures, etc. And once everything is good and ready to go on that end, they're going to order an appraisal for the property, right? Because banks and lenders do not overpay for properties. If they agreed to lend you 80% of the value of a home, that value is determined by a licensed appraiser and not by you or what you're willing to pay for it, okay? I've touched on this in previous episodes, but you need to have a general idea of where an appraisal will come in at. Because if that appraisal comes back at a value that's lower than what you offered, you've now opened up another set of scenarios with multiple options and factors that really will be unique for each and every deal. And long story short, if the real estate professional that you're working with hasn't prepared you, you may be in for some turbulence and possibly in danger. So please message me, text me, even call me if you have more questions about this topic. Maybe I'll get around to doing a video sometime in the future that can help. But for the sake of time, I really won't be able to go down that rabbit hole for this episode. But in the meantime, I'm here, so please let me know what I can do to help. But for this episode, we're going to assume that the appraisal comes back at or even better for you above what you agreed to pay. And if that's the case, give yourself a round of applause because now you're that much closer to closing. That's a big hurdle to get over. The lender will then push your file into underwriting and they're going to look up your ass to make sure your hat's on straight, so be ready for that. And they're going to make sure that everything checks out from their risk assessment basis. But all things going well, you should have your mortgage commitment in a few weeks. Title search is the other side of the coin. The title search is going to be done by a title company. That's usually hired by your attorney. And their job is to make sure that the property that you're buying is free from any liens, if there are any open violations or open permits on the property, that it's legally occupiable, and that the seller actually has the legal right to sell you the property. Your agent should have asked preliminary questions before you've gotten to this point regarding open permits, certificates of occupancy, and whether or not the house is being sold as part of an estate so that you have some sort of an idea of what lies ahead. But things can still come up. And at the end of the day, it all comes down to protecting yourself. And that could mean clearing up things like open permits or making sure that the seller pays off that contractor that he stiffed 5 years ago. The different scenarios you can run into are infinite. But if you have a good attorney by your side, you'll get all the weeds cleared off the runway. And with your mortgage commitment in hand and clear title, now you're ready to bring this plane in for a smooth landing. So once that you hear clear to close, you'll coordinate your closing day with your team. You'll set up a day to do your final walkthrough to make sure that everything is the way that it should be. And then get yourself ready to sign more documents than you've ever had in your life. Closing day can be exciting, it can be nerve-wracking, but it'll all be worth it once you get the keys and officially start your next chapter. It's the moment that you've been waiting for, and finally it's time to break out the bubbly. I may break out the champagne for getting through my first video series. I really hope I was able to give you guys a great overview of what it takes to get the best result from the buyer's perspective. And I know for the sake of time, I may have skimmed over some topics that may raise more questions for you guys. I'd love to answer any questions that you have for me. I'll put all my contact info in the description of this YouTube video below. And you can also follow me on Facebook and Instagram. I'll put those links as well in the description. Guys, thanks again for joining me, and keep tuning in. I've already got a lot more lined up, a seller series and a few more things that I've got coming out soon to give back to you guys, because this is what it's all about for me. I love you guys. Talk soon. Thanks.